Hello, welcome to this video and welcome to this tiny toilet that we are going to be given a makeover. So this tiny bathroom is one of those bathrooms that is under the stairs. You will also have to forgive me in this video for my camera work because I had to switch between a couple of different lenses to try and get the angles. And apologies if you see a lot of my bum in this video. So this bathroom is just a toilet and a sink. I'm not actually too sure the exact size of this, but it will fit one person, have a wee, and out you go. It previously had a dado rail going around it and the bottom was painted in, I think, Egyptian cotton. So it has this kind of grey tone. And then it just has some white paint on top. But I want to give it a makeover, but also I don't want to spend much money or any if possible. So I'm going to be doing up this little bathroom with all of my leftover supplies. So stuff that I have from previous projects, all of my scrap bits of wallpaper, bits of wood trim, all of the bits that I have, I don't want them to go to waste. So let's use what I already have in my stash and give this little room a facelift. Also, my regular viewers will know that this is not my house. We are in Siobhan's house. And if you saw my previous videos, you'll know that I'm doing a couple of jobs. And this was one of them that I really wanted to do for a long time. I think with these downstairs toilets, especially the ones under the stairs, I feel like you can have a bit of fun with them. You can play around with like wallpaper and different designs because it's just a room that you have a wee in. And I've seen some really cool tiny toilet makeovers online where people have done like some really funky stuff. But I'm going to be using leftover paneling from my nephew's bedroom. So I think my nephew's bedroom was 2 years ago now. Time flies. But there was there was a packet and a half of paneling left over. And I said, don't throw that out because we will use this for something. Well, the time has come. So Siobhan loves detailing. I recently did paneling in her bedroom and my niece and nephew also live here and they have bedroom makeovers from like 2 years ago. I can link those videos if you want. So she loves the detail of wood. There was a dado rail here which she had removed for me and thankfully it was kind of just glued on so it didn't tear too many chunks out of the wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to use up all that leftover paneling and we're going to add some detail to the wall with the MDF panels. So when it comes to putting all this together, measure twice, cut one. So I will start wherever in the room. I will pick a point. Now today I had to be careful because I only had a certain amount of wood pieces left. So I had to make sure I had enough before I started cutting them, because I really didn't want to go and buy another packet. The whole point was to use up what we had. So I'll measure and cut a piece, make sure that fits, and then I'll move on to the other pieces of wood that I need to cut. And I just check them against each other as I'm going, because sometimes, especially with like the saw that I'm using, I might cut something maybe a tiny bit too long, which is fine because you can shave a bit off. But if I cut something too short, then I need to use a piece to fix that. If it's your first time, you can measure out in pencil. So you can draw on the wall in pencil mark where you want the pieces to go. Then you can stand back and have a little look. In this room, there's a natural curve because of the stairs that goes above it. So I'm going to be using that as my height line. It's also a nice height because where this sink is, I am going to be putting wallpaper in this room. And I want the wallpaper to be nice and high so that it doesn't get splashed from the hand basin. And also when the floors are being mopped and any other moisture, I want the wallpaper to be sitting quite high. Once I'm happy with all the cuts, it's then just a matter of popping some adhesive onto the back, smoothing it out, then sticking it to the wall. And just use a decent adhesive that has a good bit of a grab. I don't use any nails with this. I find the wood is nice and lightweight, so I don't need to. And then I just use a spirit level to make sure that it is straight, or as straight as can be, especially in rooms where, you know, it might not be straight to begin with. So I will check the spirit level, but I'll also check my eye as well and make sure I'm happy with it. If you are new, welcome. Do say hello in the comment section and subscribe if you like what you see. But I do have a video from November time, and I did a paneling project in my own bedroom. Kind of similar to this, but I leveled it up a notch with some moulding on the inside. Now I do have some left over, so we will go to my storage nook and see what detail pieces I can take just to elevate this a little bit. Now I won't have enough to do it the way I did it in my own bedroom, but I will add a few detaily pieces to this just to take it up a notch so that it's not just flat wood on the wall. We'll get some moulding and we will try and make this look like a posh loo. I am thinking mini hotel loo, a luxury loo for a posh P. I feel like that should be the title of this video. Thumbs up if you agree. Okay, I am here looking for some trim. So I obviously have leftover trim pieces from doing my own bedroom makeover. So I need to match up and see, are they the same? Yeah. So I'm gonna try and use the offcuts of what I have, but I have to be careful because I have this piece, which is different. So I need to make sure, and then that's different again. So I need to make sure. I also have these little trim pieces. Actually, I think I have more of these. Basically, I need to make sure I bring the right trims. I think these will do. I'll have a full length of these. Oh, sorry. We're on the phone. I left my camera around there. So, yeah, I think it would be wise to bring these 3 lengths because I'll definitely have enough for them. Because if I bring these odd pieces, yeah, I don't think I have enough. That one's split as well. I also have this, which will nicely sit on top, but I don't have enough to do the whole room. I have some of these pieces as well. Okay, Bon is investigating. Right, I'm gonna go back around with these. After a quick cup of tea, it was time to trim the trim pieces. And these are just going to be sitting on top. I am not doing these squares on the inside like in that bedroom makeover that I did. I find cutting the trim pieces by hand, I get just a better cut. I find with small pieces of wood, when you use the miter saw, sometimes they can kind of rip the small pieces of wood. Now what I will say is, I need to get a new tenon saw because the one I'm using is cheap. It's not buttery soft. Like in my woodwork class, those little hand saws, they were buttery soft. This, it's more like cutting with a bread knife or something. But anyway, I will try and cut the miters as perfect as I can. And then I'll just sand any rough edges down. And then I'll make sure that they all match up in the bathroom before adding the adhesive and sticking them onto the wall. Also, I'm not sure if I got any footage of me caulking. You may have seen caulk on the wood pieces. But decorator's caulk is our friend, especially if you're a beginner. Do your best and caulk the rest. Obviously, you want to get your cuts nice and perfect to begin with, but listen, doesn't always happen. So if you have any wood filler or your decorator's caulk, go around and caulk all of those joins and gaps. Now, if you're wondering why I'm sanding the walls, you've probably noticed that there is some lumps and texture to the wall. There's some adhesive and stuff stuck on the wall. So I'm going to sand as much as I can to get this smooth. So the bottom is going to be painted. Now I'm not a plasterer, so I'm going to sand everything down to get it as smooth as I can. See where I can fill and make it look a bit better, and then paint on top. So just in case you're wondering, why am I sanding the wall? I'm trying to do a good prep before we paint, so we hide some of that damage. I also gave all of the wood trim a good coat of primer, and I'm going to be sticking a satin finish paint onto the wood because this is a bathroom. We want the walls to be nice and wipeable. Full of head cold this morning, but it's time to do some paint and paper. I have leftovers. I'm trying to do everything leftover materials. I don't want to buy anything new. So far I've just had to buy sanding sheets for my sander. So I have some leftover paper and paint, and I'm going to go around and start doing that. So all of the wood trim and everything is done, and this is the next thing. Why is it that time of year that you just get... I honestly think I'd rather stub my toe 10 times a day than have a head cold. I know they only last like a week, but there's nothing more miserable than nasal congestion. Am I right? I'll be fine. My niece and nephew were like this the other day, and I was like, oh, I think that's gonna come my way. Didn't help all the Christmas parties I was at as well. That's not good for the immune system. So I'm bringing some rollers, brush, paint and paper. It's only a little room. I'll have it done by lunchtime, hopefully. Now, I need to apologise about the lighting. You can probably see from the hallway. This video was filmed in December, just before the solstice. And I don't think I saw sunshine or blue sky the week I was filming this video. And it's such a shame because I feel like it doesn't do the room justice, but the show must go on. And this is the reality, isn't it? We all have the grey houses in December, especially in Ireland. The paint I am using on the bottom is the antique cream that I used in my bedroom. However, I'm using the tin of paint that was the satin finish. So I had a tin of satin to go over my skirting boards. And because this room, it is, well, I suppose it is technically a high traffic area, I am not going to put matte finish on this wall, even though I have loads of the matte paint left over. Because the bottom of this wall needs to be wipeable, cleanable, bleachable, disinfectantable, because it is a loo. And no shade to any men out there, although not many men watch my videos. But there is boys who pee in this toilet, and I'm just saying, toilets where it's just ladies are much cleaner. No shade to the men, but your aim can be off sometimes. And now it's time to wallpaper. And yes, I am using the wrong brush, which someone politely pointed out to me in the last video. I don't know where my proper wallpaper brush has gone. I seem to have misplaced it. I think I left it somewhere else. So I'm using what I have. And I had the wallpaper paste left over from the bedroom makeover, and I'm going to be using the leftover wallpaper in this bathroom because I know that I'll have enough to do this space. And I absolutely love this stripe wallpaper, and Siobhan loved it as well. I wasn't able to get a refund on the spare roll that I had. I ordered 2 rolls. I ended up only needing 1. I was left with 1 and they wouldn't let me refund it. So let's use it in here. And even though this is a small space, I think I would sooner wallpaper a large straight wall, because in here there's obviously all those triangle kind of nooks. So I'm just pasting the wall. I'm then going to roughly place a piece of wallpaper onto the wall, leaving excess on the top and the bottom. I'm going to make sure it's nice and straight because obviously this is stripe. We do want it going straight up. We don't want it going diagonal. I will fold over on the top to get that angled edge. Do the same on the bottom. Get a nice fold in the material. And then I'm using a really sharp scissors to cut the excess at the bottom. You can also use a blade, or I've seen these little wallpaper blade things. What I will say is just make sure it is nice and sharp. Personally, I find sometimes a blade, if it's the tiniest bit blunt, it will tear the bottom. So for me, I like using a nice sharp scissors. But I think it's because I've lots of experience from sewing, and yeah, I'm used to kind of cutting things straight. If it's your first time, use whatever is going to be best for you. And if that is a ruler and a blade, whatever is going to give you the sharpest cut. Now, as I was doing this wallpaper, my head cold was starting to whoop my ass. And I don't know if it was the congestion and getting up on the tiny ladder, the stripe wallpaper and the small room, but my head was, I needed some assistance. So Siobhan, being the angel that she is, stepped in to give me a hand with this wallpaper, because I didn't want to rush the job, but I really wanted to get the wallpaper up, but I also wanted it to be perfect. So I just took my time, and thankfully Siobhan was my second pair of eyes to make sure that the cuts were straight, the lines were lining up, and there was no diagonal wallpaper when it should have been straight. Also, you'll see as well that we wallpapered the angled piece of wall in the room, so that the piece where the stairs is above it, even though the stripe is going, I don't know, it's not pattern matched with the side pieces. I think it's the best we could do with that awkward angled space. I didn't want to leave it without any wallpaper, and I think it looks good anyway. You'll see it when it's finished. I just want to say thank you to our channel members who give this channel some extra support and keep it going. I have a giveaway for the month of January where I'm going to be giving away 3 €50, dollar, pound, wherever you are from, whatever your currency, gift cards. And you can choose a garden centre, craft store or DIY shop of your choice in your local area. And all you have to do is have an active channel membership for the month of January. I will pick the 3 winners at the end of the month, and I'll pop a link if you would like to join and become a channel member in the description. Members get to see the weekly videos before everybody else, and they also get to watch them ad-free. There's a member playlist where there's over 200 videos with no ads. You also get member exclusive personal chatty videos and a 50% off discount for the online sewing course. And here is a quick recap of what this room was looking like before we did some paneling and paper. And again, apologies about the lighting, but I do want to tile around the basin. And I also had a quick look on the secondhand sites to see if I could get like an under sink mini cabinet, but I need like a corner cabinet, so I haven't been able to find anything yet. Because one thing that this tiny toilet needs is a little bit of storage. I also need to do some detail-y bits, so the likes of the towel rack, toilet roll holder, all of those detail-y things. But I feel like the bones of this is looking good. Also, you will notice that the flooring has some damage to it because some tiles had been removed and this is what's underneath. Now, Siobhan did pick up a packet of peel and stick tiles, but if you saw my previous videos in December, you'll know how I feel about the peel and stick, which I'll chat a bit later on in this video. So I will return and hopefully the lighting will be a bit better so you can get a proper look at this. We will do some tiling and styling. So if you are new, do hit subscribe. I do have a playlist, the DIY diary playlist. So if you like this style of video and you want to see some other room makeover or home projects, I'll make sure to link that in the description. Hello, I am back in my own kitchen. Siobhan had to give me a dig out today because I'm very congested, and I'm so congested that you can hear your ears ringing. But I was up that ladder and I was like, nope, you're gonna have to give me a dig out. I think I took on too much today. You know when you have a cold? I have a shopping list. So the bones of that tiny toilet are done, but there is some detailing that I want to do. So you would have seen so Siobhan picked up a packet of peel and stick floor tiles, but if you saw I'm trying to think. So I am filming this the week before Christmas, even though it won't be up on the channel until the first week of January. But if you remember, you will have watched this already. So thanks for the support. It's Christmas week. 'Tis the week before Christmas. I need to go to probably B&Q, but my nearest one is Liffey Valley, and there is Christmas traffic everywhere. There's also a full moon and Mercury's in retrograde, and I tried to not get caught up in all of that, but today I went to grab a coffee before going to Siobhan's, and I parked my car, and I walked from my car to the coffee shop. And a car beeped me, and I thought, if someone beeps you, I wave. But it was someone irate because I had walked. I don't know what I did. But I just started laughing because I was waving at them. So could you imagine someone irate going, "You're in the way"? I think they were trying to reverse park and I had walked. But I don't know, they beeped aggressively and I waved. And then I started laughing because I waved and they were so irate. But anyway, I went and got my coffee. And while I was queuing for my coffee, I was like, do you know what? I think there's a full moon, because I was just chatting to my friend Rachel, and she works in retail. And this time of year, it's carnage. And she was saying how rude people had been to her. Please don't be rude to retail people, ever. But I was like, I think there's a full moon because I can I think a full moon on top of the Christmas stress, traffic, chaos. Nah, I feel it outside. I walk outside, I'm like, there's chaos in the air. People are touchy. There's touchiness. Anyway, 2 things I want to do in that bathroom. I need to plane some of the wood pieces that are connecting. That's just a detail-y job, because it will annoy me when I'm sitting having a wee in Siobhan's over Christmas if the wood is not planed, and then I'll sand over it. Another thing I want to do is tile, and I was saying, hang on, and I grab, where did I put the tile sample? Wait. Okay, I got these tile samples because first of all, I think I would like them in my own kitchen, but they're, see these wavy, texturedy. Also, apologies for the camera and the lighting because everything is, the lighting is just really bad, so it's really grainy. So can you see these two tiles? Vernice sample 10 by 10 and vernice sample 7.5 times 15 centimeters, both in white. I think maybe these, so I'll insert like a clip. You'll see, I just think around the sink should be tiled. And I think these could either be done that way or they could be done brick. And I feel like that, I was saying in a previous video how I would love to have the confidence to tile a backsplash like in the kitchen. I'd love to do Siobhan's one for her because I'm not a fan of the peel and stick tile. So I think I'm going to get a box of these ones and tile that bathroom or that hand sink section because it's a good way to practice tiling, and these tiles I shouldn't have too difficult to cut. And it's also going to be more functional in that space because obviously when people are washing their hands and it's splashing, you know, yeah, I just think this is going to be better. So I had them as a sample. So I'm going to send Siobhan a picture of these. I think they'd be really nice because they have a bit of texture to them as well. And one box. I think it's €36 for a box of these. I have some grout. No, I need to get grout. I have some adhesive actually. Anyway, then there's the floor. Now, Siobhan had gotten a packet of peel and stick floor tiles. I think she got that packet in Woodies and it was like 20 quid. But I'm just not a fan of peel and stick. I'm just not a fan. Now, she did have peel and stick on that floor. She took that up and then she had this, I don't know what it is. It's like vinyl plank, but it's adhesive. I think I have seen them in like Woodies and B&Q and stuff. So you've got vinyl plank flooring which clicks together and you put like an underlay and you don't use adhesive. And then there's these things I've seen people have. I've seen people with them and it's like they're planks but there's adhesive on them. They will not come up. So she said she had tried to get them up even like with a blade and a crowbar and stuff. You may have to use some special like adhesive chemical stuff to break down the adhesive and then lift them off. They are not coming off. So whatever we get will have to go on top. Another thing is like, because it's only like a small area, I might even see if someone locally could, if I buy the materials, if they could just put a little floor down instead of having the peel and stick. Because in my opinion, peel and stick might only last 6 months to a year. Why not just spend a little and get like a decent floor thing done on it? So I might see if I can get quotes in January and see if someone would do that. I'm going to place an online order for home delivery because it means I can get everything delivered to Siobhan's, because I also need to order a plank of wood for, she has a wardrobe upstairs that she needs an end piece for. So it means I can get that piece of wood that I'm not going to be able to fit into my car, and I can get the tiles, the grout and all that bits sent to Siobhan's house. And I do not have to sit in Christmas shopper traffic in a full moon in Mercury retrograde with a head cold because I am too neurodivergent for that stuff. I will lose my shit. I will be overstimulated. No. I will stay in my abode and I will return to society in January when everyone has gone back to work and it's not chaos. My memory card is about to run out, so I'm going to leave it there. But I won't leave you waiting too long because I'm hoping the next video will be me doing the jobs in Siobhan's. So let's see then. If you would like to see more projects like this and you love DIY home decor projects, maybe you're looking for some inspiration for your own space, then I'll pop a card here to the DIY Diary playlist where you will find loads of videos where I am sharing the journey of transforming my spaces on a budget and doing it myself. You can check out that playlist and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already to follow along for more future projects this year.